Hey everyone, Robert here with part 3 of my baseball card history series. First of all, just thank you for watching, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe. Check out my other videos. Also check out parts 1 and 2 of this series. So I've been taking the time, as a lot of collectors have been doing this year, with a lot of time on their hands, is really just going back through my baseball card collection and spending time with it and looking up things I hadn't thought of looking up before. So I stopped collecting back in the 1990s. So we're looking at, where are we? Almost 30 years since I have been interested in baseball cards in general. I've kept my collection because I knew one day I would go back, and here I am. So again, this is part 3. Where we left off in the last video was 1992, and we're starting to see the rise of other baseball card and sports card companies entering the scene, and each company branching out, not just making one base set, but branching out into multiple different sets. Upper Deck brought in the concept of the premium photo glossy card, and the other baseball and sports cards companies following suit. So the part 3 is really interesting because I had the feeling when I got back into baseball cards this year, was that there's really only one company left. Not completely true, but for baseball it is. And as such, we're going to end my baseball card history series with how it began, with Topps. Topps started it. Topps going to end it. Topps remains king. But let's see how that happens. So we were starting here in 1993. This is Topps. Their base set, and a lot of major theme here. We saw in the last video, in the late 80s, early 90s, card companies trying something different, trying something new, trying something edgy and artistic with different colors, different borders, and we're pretty much going to see they stuck with the classics. Baseball wants to remain traditional. Baseball card companies want to remain true to the tradition of baseball, and that's going to show throughout the rest of this video, and where baseball card, where Topps is today. You're going to see just classic design, white border, still using action shots of players actually out on the field instead of just portraits. Not completely true, but for the most part, this is your base set. So here down at the bottom, Donruss and Upper Deck. Upper Deck's been really trying to highlight themselves as the collector's choice. Now we're into 1994. I don't have too much from that year. I do have a Donruss card, and I did find out 1994 is when Donruss really tried to steer ahead of Topps. They wanted to make their base set a premium base set, whereas Topps had their base set, standard cards, and they had Topps Stadium, which was their premium. Donruss wanted to make their base set the premium. And kind of what they were doing, it is a glossy card, smaller inset photo, foil print, beautifully done. Even the back has full color photo on the back side. Beautiful card. We're gonna find, unfortunately, Donruss doesn't last too long here. This is another interesting card. This is a card from the Ted Williams Card Company. It doesn't exist anymore. It only had the one print run. The company existed from 1993 to 94. It is officially licensed by Ted Williams, the baseball player. This was his company that put this together. I found out a little bit about them. It was licensed by the Baseball Hall of Fame under Cooperstown Collection, um, but it was only the 1 year. It featured older players. It wasn't a Meet the New Players. It was meant to be a historical set. I think I read something like it was 164 cards, so it was pretty big. But just the one set, and kind of interesting. If you find any of those cards floating around, and I happen to find one. So now we're looking at 1995. This is, it's labeled as Studio, but it's by Donruss. So this was a premium studio photo in the locker room type of card. Kind of cool. Interesting background motifs. And let's see, we got another studio card from that year. We have Upper Deck as well. And then we have this Emotions card, which I forgot to look into. So this is from Fleer/Skybox as an emotion set, premium set from Fleer Skybox. So now we are moving on to 1996. Score is the name of the card, but it's actually owned and operated under the Pinnacle brands. Pinnacle is another card company that came out, and they are continuing to make cards under the Score name as well. Quite a bit of those, and down here is also by Pinnacle. This is Pinnacle Zenith. Zenith being the top line of baseball cards. It's a pretty cool photo. It's got baseball bat in motion here. Cecil Fielder of the Tigers. Kind of a fun card with some stats of him around the field. Score. We are now in 1997. Again, you're going to see similar motif. Just all the card companies are really trying to stick, not too different from each other. In the base sets anyway. They're really trying to break out in the premium sets. So Score again, we have Fleer Skybox with gold print, really trying to stand out. And Upper Deck here on the bottom. Now we're in 1998. Here's a Topps Stadium card, Score by Pinnacle brands, and here's Fleer Skybox with Fleer Ultra. These are really interesting. I have never seen them like this cut again, but it's actually cut around the top. These are labeled in this beautiful iridescent foil gold medallion edition, and I don't know if that refers to the round cut on the top, but I've never seen a card like it before cut that way. Backside's pretty colorful too, but just a very interesting card. I bet it was a special insert. So now we're in 1999. Just one thing of note, sorry, back to 1998. So Pinnacle is Score. This is the final year, as Score will go into bankruptcy in the following year of 1999. So this is the last set of Score. We will never see Score or Pinnacle again. Donruss at the time actually was owned by Pinnacle, and Donruss was sold to the Panini Group, which most of us here in America anyway typically know them as the sticker company, but Panini does still produce cards under the Donruss name to this day. So they still kind of exist, but more on that later. Upper Deck. So I'm sorry, back to 1999 now. So we have a Fleer Skybox Metal Universe card, beautiful foil of Devin White. Here's Upper Deck, still trying to maintain that premium status. Their base set with beautiful gold print. So now we're entering the new millennium. Here's year 2000s. Pacific Trading Cards produced a Pacific Paramount 2000 set with this foil printing. Again, this is a classic card, white border. Year 2001, Fleer Skybox with a Fleer Tradition card. So to me, this was about the time when baseball cards were really starting to reach back to their roots. Topps still produces what's called a Topps Heritage, cards that look old, cards that are of the modern players but have a older motif harkening back to the early days of baseball. Very interesting, and that I even found this card, but here is Fleer all the way back in 2001 already starting that look back. Kind of interesting. To me, it looks like a big Topps card from 88, 89, but the backside just really harkens back to that cardboard days. Just cardboard coloring with the black print, a little cartoon on the side. We haven't seen that since the late mid 1980s, and again, Topps is doing it now. But I wonder if Fleer was the first one to start doing this all the way back in 2001, and then Topps picked it up later on. 2002, Topps. Topps Stadium card with a full foil print. Upper Deck. So here's Leaf. Donruss under Panini Group. Still in the game. Haven't bowed out just yet. So now 2003. Here is Topps, the base cards. And this is when Topps started also issuing heritage cards. Modern players designing a card in a older motif. Same thing on the back, little cartoons harkening back to the. Again, Topps hadn't done this since the mid 1980s. So now we're in 2004, Fleer Skybox card, and again, something that looks to me like a classic motif card. But this is the last year of Fleer Skybox. They go under. They are gonna be sold to the Upper Deck company, and Upper Deck will kind of use. I think they end up using the Skybox name, but I think the name Fleer will no longer exist. But Upper Deck will continue to use the Skybox name for a little while. So now we're into 2005. Have an Upper Deck and another Leaf by Donruss card. Here's 2006 card by Topps. So Topps, again in 1989, had started producing cards using the old Bowman name. Bowman being a card company that Topps essentially won over in the baseball card wars, and then would end up buying them in the late 80s. Now producing Bowman cards. This is a Bowman Heritage, so we got Topps Heritage and Bowman Heritage cards. So we're in 2007 now with a Topps Heritage, Carlos Lee of the Astros. Next year, 2008, have an Upper Deck card. 2009. These are all these two are examples of the Topps Heritage. This is an insert from their baseline that year, but this is a special set actually called Turkey Red, harkening, another callback to the really old days. Turkey Red just harkening back to what baseball cards were sold as inside tobacco products. in the 1900s. So now we're in 2010. Topps again. Now they're really harkening back. Now they're issuing cards under what's called the Topps 206. Again, harkening back to the old, like Honus Wagner cards. Also, again, sold in tobacco products, but really reaching back to the early days of baseball. And it is at this time, 2009, 2010, when Topps remains king. So baseball cards really start going under, did not become a lucrative product for a lot of companies. They either folded or sold off, and the market was flooded, and people weren't interested, especially after 2004. 2004 is when baseball players went under strike, and a lot of people lost interest, and it really hit baseball hard, and it took a while for baseball to come back. And a part of that was Major League Baseball saying, you know what, we just want to license our property to just one baseball card manufacturer, and we don't want to stretch ourselves out too thin again. Very similar to video games when Atari was really producing way too much and the video game industry busted, and then it wouldn't come back until Nintendo came out and was really something that was carefully put together, because no one wanted to see a flood again, and also just to maintain the integrity of the property. In this case, it's baseball. So Topps is king. They are the only ones with the exclusive rights to produce cards of the players and the team names and their logos. Other companies would have access to players through the Players Union, but would have no access to team names, team logos. So Panini, and I think Upper Deck technically is still trying to produce some baseball cards, but again, it's only the players. They can't put the names of the teams. So Topps is king at this point, and that's what you're going to see throughout the rest of this binder. We got 2006 base set. I'm sorry, 2000. I have a big gap. I don't have any cards from 2011 to 2015. So here's 2016, 2017. And I guess at this point, we're really starting to see the base cards become a little more interesting again, a little more artistic, a little more snappier. Still trying to maintain that traditional look of baseball cards. This is a Topps Heritage from 2017. Here's 2018. The Big League line by Topps. Again with a classic border. Bowman under Topps is still around. This is a Bowman Chrome. That's still a big line for them. The Bowman name. It's something interesting. So Topps again is, got the exclusive rights and really trying to bring back the excitement of baseball to young and new fans. So this is not only their base set, but it's a base set with a special opening day logo. So you can buy cards before the baseball season actually opens. All of these will have the opening day logo, but then they will bring out their base set. It looks exactly the same, just no opening day on it. So they had a smaller set just as baseball was opening, and then they brought out the fuller set once the baseball season really got going. Still producing Heritage cards. There's Topps Heritage. Let's see, this is 2019. 2019 Big League. These are backs of the Topps sticker album from that year, from 2019. And then finally got up to modern day. This is 2020. This is the baseline. Again, really trying to be a little more artistic. Here's the big league line with a more classic look. And finally, I got a lot of the big leagues. And then kind of the more classic look for this year of what I have anyway is their Allen and Ginter line. Again, trying to harken back to the days of the tobacco cards from way back. And finally, or actually two more things. So this is Topps National Baseball Card Day. I'm trying to remember, August 8th is when this happened. This was a special line of cards just at the hobby stores. So if you went in and bought Topps on that day, you got some special cards, which is kind of fun. Again, trying to bring back the excitement of baseball, bring in new fans, not just of baseball in general, but baseball card collecting. Especially this year. This year was a good year for baseball cards. People either, like me, reminiscing, being nostalgic, looking back, or people just getting back into baseball card collecting, people just trying it for the first time. This was a good year for it, and maybe we'll see what happens in the next year. And then the final thing, these are the backs from the Topps sticker album cards as well. Yeah, so this is where we're at. Curious to see what Topps brings out in 2021. See how the pandemic affects Topps and baseball, and we'll see where this goes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video and the whole series just interesting. I think I will try to put some links to other videos as to where I got some of my information. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for another collecting video soon, and take care.